I'm Kylie Chisholm, an occupational health consultant, and I'm thankful to have been asked to present on the topic of heat-related stress at this educational convention for construction companies. This is a very relevant topic to discuss given the hot, humid temperatures that construction workers are exposed to, and this can be used as an educational tool that can potentially help save you or a fellow coworker's life. A few topics I will be discussing with you today are hydration, types of heat stress and their symptoms, dangers and risk factors, heat index, individuals who are most at risk, prevention methods, and a chart on hydration and urine color. A hydrated worker is a productive worker. Did you know that water makes up 60% of your total body weight? And inadequate hydration can lead to the following: a loss in worker productivity, lack of energy, difficulty concentrating on specific tasks at hand, headache and migraines, negative moods, as well as interfering with a person's ability to think rationally. It has been found that for every 1% drop in hydration, a worker is 12% less productive. So, remaining hydrated means that workers' water input far exceeds their sweat output. Also, drinking water in the early morning hours before work is the best way to prevent dehydration, as well as drinking water throughout the workday. Different types of heat-related stress and their symptoms. The first type of heat-related stress is called heat rash. A heat rash occurs due to inflamed, irritated skin resulting in obstructed sweat glands. This is the most common heat-related illness. Symptoms for heat rash include clusters of red bumps or blisters, and they are most likely to occur on the neck, upper chest, and skin creases. The second type of heat-related stress I will discuss is heat cramps. Heat cramps are involuntary muscle spasms due to loss of salts in water. Symptoms include muscle spasms, pain, and profuse sweating. The third type is known as heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is when the body has been exposed to high levels of heat and excessive sweating. Symptoms for heat exhaustion include headache, dizziness, fatigue, confusion, dark-colored urine, which we'll discuss later in a further slide, fainting, profuse sweating, rapid heartbeat, muscle or abdominal cramps, pale skin, and nausea and vomiting. And the last type of heat-related stress I will discuss is known as heat stroke. Heat stroke is the most serious heat-related illness. This is when the body is unable to control the rapid rise in body temperature. The body is unable to produce sweat during this time. Symptoms of heat stroke include red hot skin, confusion, fainting, seizures, and extremely high body temperature. Dangers and risk factors for heat-related stress include 1. High heat index. A high heat index can be dangerous. Heat index takes into account both outdoor temperatures and humidity. When the humidity is high, your sweat is unable to evaporate easily, causing your body to have a difficult time cooling itself. 2. Direct sun exposure. Direct sun exposure can cause your body's internal temperature to rise. Number 3, not acclimating your body properly. New employees are usually the most at risk in this scenario. 4, medications taken for cold, allergies, congestion, muscle spasms, and blood pressure can cause you to be at a higher risk for heat intolerance. 5, vigorous physical activity. 6, try your best to avoid fluids containing caffeine or alcohol because they can cause you to lose fluids, which leads to dehydration and worsens heat-related illness. Here is a graph on heat index. It shows the different risk levels taking into account temperature, which is measured in Fahrenheit, and humidity, which is measured in percent. For the low risk level, or what you see labeled as caution in light yellow, the heat index must remain under 91 degrees Fahrenheit. During this lower level, you should take into account basic heat safety and planning measures. Fatigue is possible during this level. For the moderate level, or what you see labeled as extreme caution in a darker shade of yellow, the heat index would be between 91 and 103 degrees Fahrenheit. During this level, you are to implement precautions and remain heightened aware. Symptoms such as muscle cramps and heat exhaustion are possible. For the high risk level, or what you see labeled as danger in orange, the heat index would fall between 103 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. During this level, you must take additional precaution to protect yourself. Muscle cramps and heat exhaustion are likely to occur at this level. For the very high to extreme danger risk level, labeled in red, the heat index must be greater than 115 degrees Fahrenheit. This level requires the most aggressive protective measures be taken. Heat stroke is highly likely to occur during this time. Individuals most at risk for heat-related stress include 1. Adults over 65 years of age. This is due to the fact that when you age, your body becomes less efficient at regulating temperature. 2. Obese individuals. Carrying excess weight can affect your body's ability to regulate its temperature and causes your body to retain more heat. 3. Those who take medications that affect your body's ability to stay hydrated and respond appropriately to heat. Specific medications were discussed in the previous slide. 4. People who have chronic illness such as heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, kidney disease, or mental illness. 5. People who have an acute illness such as an infection accompanied by a fever or gastroenteritis. Prevention measures include Staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water before work and during work. Try to find a shady, cool area if possible. Wearing a light layer of loose clothing. Taking regular breaks to help prevent getting overheated. If possible, try to schedule heavy work during the cooler part of the day. Use of fans can improve airflow and aid in cooling skin. And lastly, try to monitor yourself and your coworkers for symptoms of heat stress. Urine color chart. The color of your urine can aid in telling you if you are hydrated or at risk for being dehydrated. If your urine matches the colors shown in 1 through 3, you are adequately hydrated. Continue to drink water throughout the day to stay in this range. If your urine color matches 4 through 6, you are dehydrated and need to drink more fluid. With increased water intake, you should begin to fall in the hydrated range. If your urine matches the colors shown in 7 and 8, you are severely dehydrated and should consult a physician before continuing your physical work. Key points to take away from today's presentation on heat-related stress on a construction site are: drinking water in the early morning hours prior to work can aid in keeping you hydrated, as well as drinking water throughout the workday. For every 1% drop in hydration, there is a 12% loss in worker productivity. Try to avoid consuming fluids containing caffeine or alcohol because they can cause you to become further dehydrated. Acclimation and hydration are key in preventing dehydration from occurring. Heat rash is known as the most common heat-related stressor, and heat stroke is the most severe heat-related stressor. Listed in this slide is my contact information. Feel free to contact me for more information or any questions that you may have regarding this topic. My email address is listed as knchisholm@uams.edu. Telephone is 1-501-350-6333. And an additional contact, my fax number is 1-501-602-7483. This slide and the following slide are a list of references that were used to help me create this presentation. Thank you so much for having me.